Well, it's a cold start to the day. It's not just the temperature, but it's those winds that at times are gusting in the 40 to 50 kilometer per hour range, and that is creating a wind chill right now at noon in Toronto, minus 17, minus 16 in London and Windsor. As we check in on eastern Ontario, not quite as bad, a little less wind and also milder temperatures, but still it is a cold start overall. Also mostly sunny, at least around Toronto. We've been in and out of the clouds, but the sun has made an appearance. That extends through eastern Ontario. Kingston, a nice and sunny start to the day. More clouds in London and Windsor. Also, as we go up to the north and back into the Montreal area, started off with sun, but now overcast conditions. And there's also some light snow through southwestern Quebec, and then heavier squalls. Goderich, heavy snow falling now. That extends back towards Parry Sound, Honey Harbor, eventually extending into the Midland area. Barrie could get into some snow late today, and then London, it'll be overnight tonight into tomorrow. So there are snow squall warnings. And there's a snapshot at our current winds, which will remain gusty throughout the afternoon. Minus 6 in Toronto and Peterborough, and then it starts to warm back up again. We'll be above freezing by the end of the week. That forecast in just a few minutes.
It's been a season.
As we go through the remainder of today, we're pretty much at the high temperature mark, minus 6. It does briefly drop down to minus 7. And then the difference tonight versus last night, it doesn't really cool off. And in fact, it may feel less cold by overnight and into tomorrow. The reason for that, wind. 34 kilometers an hour, gusting to 50 this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, 13 kilometers an hour, gusting to 25. So the wind chill only minus 13. I say only because right now it feels like minus 17. And there's that purple blob. This is the Arctic air, Winnipeg, Minneapolis, now extending through the Great Lakes. And then it warms back up. Calgary 0. 2 in Vancouver, also not quite as cold on the east coast, but still sub freezing mark at this hour. Very fast jet stream south of the border. We're also watching critical fire risk for Southern California as their situation only slowly improves for the remainder of the week. Our situation, if you don't like cold, hang in there because it is going to turn milder, especially Friday and into Saturday. That won't last either. So these snow squalls, as the wind shifts more to the northwest later today, those squalls get into Barrie. London sees some snow overnight tonight, and then a widespread 1 to 3 centimeters expected by Thursday morning as our next front pushes through. Up and down the temperature goes, but generally it'll be snow over the next couple of days, and some amounts quite significant. That is because of the lake enhancement. Now for southern Quebec, also some heavier totals, mostly in the eastern townships. Not much for Montreal, although flurries continue today. Minus 3 in the GTA over the next 2 days, and then plus 2s for Friday and Saturday. This is very cold early next week. In fact, the chilliest of the season so far. And as far as Quebec goes, minus 16 for highs on Monday and Tuesday with wind chills approaching minus 30. All the more reason to enjoy that plus 1 to start this upcoming weekend. Jaden?
All right, thanks, Anthony. That's our show.
All right, time now for a check on the forecast. For those details, let's bring in, of course, our chief meteorologist, Anthony Farnell.
Good evening, Anthony. It is a chilly one. The temperature is below average, minus 7 in Toronto, but it's that wind chill, minus 16, and it has been breezy throughout the entire day today. Minus 13 the feel in Muskoka and Peterborough, minus 12 for Kingston, and now that the sun is setting, it is going to get that much colder. The winds are also shifting, going from west to east. Now we're starting to get more of a northerly component, so those squalls that have been north of Lake Simcoe are starting to sink down to the south. Barrie next in line could get into the north end of the GTA, and that's why there is a weather travel advisory for Newmarket, King City as well. We're going to keep an eye on that. North Durham could also feel the effects of these squalls as that wind, there's the arrows starting to change direction here. And we're still at about 31 kilometers an hour at Pearson Airport. So those squalls have caused some accidents on Highway 400, Trans-Canada Highway, Highway 11 as well. It is on the move, and we're going to keep an eye on our pinpoint radar. Those amounts could be 10 or more centimeters in a short period of time, and really it's the squally nature, the fact it goes from clear skies to whiteout in a short period of time. That is the concern. That's the reason for the warnings. Minus 15 tonight in Muskoka, minus 10 in Kingston, minus 8 in Toronto and Fort Erie, and for those that love snow, it'll be piling up, but avoiding Toronto again until perhaps Wednesday night into Thursday. More on that system in a few minutes.
Well, the warning, stay alert and be ready to...
Time now for our first look at the forecast. For that, let's check in with weather specialist Kaylee Bedore. Kaylee.
Thanks, Carrie. It has been a bit windy throughout the day today, especially in Prince Edward County, where we have had gusts exceeding 50, 60, at one point even 70 km/h winds. Winds still for the next hour or so remain quite gusty, and then they'll start to ease. Tomorrow not as windy. We do have a mix of sun and cloud through Wednesday. Starting the day off around minus 10, partly cloudy skies for Kingston tomorrow, and eventually seeing that clearing spread go across eastern Ontario, though tonight still some snowfall possible north towards Smiths Falls and then extending Brockville, Cornwall area, watching still for this hour and extending for the next couple of hours. Chance that we do see some flurries and a bit of blowing snow. So watching out for that. Otherwise, we'll eventually see that clear out. And over the coming days, we do have some sun, at least for Wednesday, minus 4 for the high. By the weekend and the end of the work week, on the plus side, but then temperatures take a big dip. So Sunday into next week, very cold air moves into the region, and we'll take a closer look at that coming up. For now, that's a first look at your weather.
First Weather is brought to you by Aubin Windows and Doors. For premium products, award-winning service, and professional installations, visit aubin.com.
Drivers in Kingston now have a... Time now for our first look at the forecast. For that, let's check in with weather specialist Kaylee Bedore. Kaylee.
Thanks, Carrie. It has been a bit windy throughout the day today, especially in Prince Edward County, where we have had gusts exceeding 50, 60, at one point even 70 km/h winds. Winds still for the next hour or so remain quite gusty, and then they'll start to ease. Tomorrow not as windy. We do have a mix of sun and cloud through Wednesday. Starting the day off around minus 10, partly cloudy skies for Kingston tomorrow, and eventually seeing that clearing spread go across eastern Ontario, though tonight still some snowfall possible north towards Smiths Falls and then extending Brockville, Cornwall area, watching still for this hour and extending for the next couple of hours. Chance that we do see some flurries and a bit of blowing snow. So watching out for that. Otherwise, we'll eventually see that clear out. And over the coming days, we do have some sun, at least for Wednesday, minus 4 for the high. By the weekend and the end of the work week, on the plus side, but then temperatures take a big dip. So Sunday into next week, very cold air moves into the region, and we'll take a closer look at that coming up. For now, that's a first look at your weather.
First Weather is brought to you by Aubin Windows and Doors. For premium products, award-winning service, and professional installations, visit aubin.com.
Matters is brought to you by Kingston Community Credit Union. Align your money with your values. Visit kccu.ca.
Well, time now for a full look at your forecast. Temperature is a bit colder today, and cooler air will linger through Wednesday. By the end of the work week, a bit of a change back on the plus side for many, and then it dips right back down. So a bit of back and forth when it comes to conditions over the next few days. A bit of snowfall also possible for some tonight. So a closer look at that in just a moment. For now, your Arctic air is in the central part of the country, Manitoba, northwestern portions of Ontario, really feeling the chill. Keep in mind, it's headed our way. We do have that Arctic Arctic air making its way in by early next week. Now farther west, Calgary today, 7 degrees. Similar setup for Vancouver. So Calgary, the same temperature as what we're seeing along the coast. But we've had that gusty west wind, and especially for Prince Edward County. Now wind gusts are easing overnight and for tomorrow, but they do linger for now. But it's definitely putting a chill in the air. So while -4 is close to our seasonal temperature, feeling more like -11 this hour in Kingston, -12 in Prince Edward County. So it is chilly, and it will be another cold night. It was a cool start to the day today as well when you factored in some of that wind. But we've had wind gusts exceeding 70 kilometers per hour in spots. Kingston today peaking just above 40 for that wind. Now, as we head to conditions on the Futurecast, what we're expecting, some blowing snow that lingers and it's pushing south as we head through this evening. So watching out for that. We could get caught up in some blowing snow and flurry activity before that eases, then some cloud cover, but then clearing through Wednesday. So plenty of sun on the way for tomorrow. Snowfall possible to return on Thursday. -11 for temperatures through the overnight, -12 for Belleville, South Frontenac also -11, and then daytime highs tomorrow. Another cold day, but not going to be as windy for Wednesday. -5s really around the map. Brockville -7 for Smiths Falls as well. Mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs climb to the plus side by Friday, Saturday, but then a big change. And by Monday and Tuesday, there's your Arctic air. Expect some of the coldest air we've seen so far this season. That's your forecast.
Back on that forecast, let's bring in our weather specialist, Kaylee Bedore. Hey, Kaylee.
Windy conditions in parts of the region once again today. Also a little bit of snowfall for some. Through the overnight, some clearing, and through Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud overall. Winds not as significant or breezy through the afternoon tomorrow, but they have been lingering around the region today in excess of 40 kilometers per hour, and in Prince Edward County even gustier. As I mentioned, tomorrow things will ease. We've seen a little bit of snowfall. Next opportunity to see the snow Thursday. A bit of more system snow comes in. We could see some flurries there, and then also for Saturday. Now, something to note for temperature, will be around seasonal the next couple of days. Tomorrow a little bit cooler. We have some clearing. Friday on the plus side. Into the weekend, things warm up a bit, and then out of the weekend into next week, they cool down in a big way. So more on that in the incoming cold and snow potential coming up. For now, that's a first look at your weather.
First Weather is brought to you by Aubin Windows and Doors. For premium products, award-winning service, and professional installations, visit aubin.com.
Well, time now for a full look at your forecast. Partly cloudy into tomorrow morning for Kingston. Today we had some wind, we saw some clearing and some snowfall for parts of the viewing region. Next opportunity for snow comes Thursday and then again on Saturday. Now when it comes to temperatures, also a little bit of back and forth. Daytime highs will be at or slightly below seasonal through the day tomorrow, so still a chilly day in Ontario. But the cooler air still is yet to come, and that happens the end of the weekend into early next week, so we will be noticing that trend now through Manitoba and through northwestern portions of Ontario. Feeling a bit of a chill, -18 today, the high in Winnipeg. Farther west, Calgary still on the mild side, 7 degrees through that province. So on the plus side there, we will be on the plus side by Friday and Saturday in parts of the region. We're expecting a bit of a brief warm up. Also, as I mentioned, some snow. Nothing too significant when it comes to the storm track for now, and any snowfall we've seen in the viewing region actually tapering off this evening. It does linger stateside, but overall we're looking at some cloud becoming clear into Wednesday. So mix of sun and cloud overall. The farther east you head, a little bit of a cloudier start to the day for Brockville and for Cornwall, but we are looking to see some sunshine through the day. And then on Thursday by the afternoon, a bit of snowfall makes its way back into the region. For now, it's cool, -10. With wind chill, feeling a bit chillier through the overnight, though the gusty winds we've had this afternoon and throughout the day are easing. Temperatures in Kingston -5 in the afternoon, South Frontenac -6, Smiths Falls -7, so below seasonal, but still not too bad with some of the sun. Thursday -3, we have that chance of flurry activity. Saturday, some snow, 2 degrees. Sunday and into early next week especially, yes, some sun, but very cold temperatures hit the region. So more on that coming up. For now, that's a full look at your forecast.